The truth is, burnout can be really hard to spot in this type because they work so freaking hard. They get overwhelmed, the tasks pile up, but do they ask for help? Don't be ridiculous, no. Here's my 75-step plan for beating burnout. All I have to do is complete this list, ignore my friends and family, and never sleep. Most of the time, this type seems cool, calm, and collected. But if they burn out, they get a bad case of analysis paralysis. Life will become harder to navigate, and group situations will totally drain them of energy.
Sorry to interrupt, but perhaps you could summarize this meeting in an email. My brain stopped processing information 15 minutes ago.
This type struggles to feel worthy of love apart from their accomplishments. They fear burnout so much because it would stop them from being productive, but in the process, they forget to, enjoy life. Oh, and by the way, this type is me.
Gee, thanks for dragging us on the internet. I'm already burnt out. Now I have to deal with this.
Yeah, but burnout is something everyone experiences, which is why I'm working with the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Because if you have depression and anxiety like me, or if you're just a human going through a rough time, therapy can give you the tools to approach life in a different way. Newsflash, there's no time to find a therapist. If I don't check everything off my to-do list, I will literally fall into a black hole of sadness. That sounds like something you should tell a therapist. Plus, if you use BetterHelp, finding a therapist is easier because it's online. Just fill out a few questions and they'll match you with a professional in as little as a few days.
What if I don't like them? I don't like a lot of people.
Finding a therapist is kind of like dating. If it's not a good fit, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without worrying about things like insurance or who's in your network and stuff like that.
I'm starting to like the sound of this. You should go to therapy too.
I do. I go every Tuesday and it's been such a great help untangling the thoughts in my head.
I need help with that.
I know.
How do you know so much about me?
Because I'm you. Yeba is literally Abby spelled backwards.
Trippy.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in my description. It's betterhelp.com/Abbey Howe. Clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. That way you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. If you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this channel. Carpe diem was probably their senior quote in high school. Basically, they go hard on everything. But if they try to do too much for too long, they're just gonna hop from thing to thing with no plan in sight.
Do I look cool yet? Like those girls on TikTok?
I know I just spent $800 on becoming a really cool skater chick, but I just don't feel like I thought I would feel.
It's on a slope.
Maybe I should try scuba diving. Going through the world as this type can be really tough. They're empathetic and absorb other people's emotions. It's exhausting. So when they burn out, they're going to retreat into their inner world to try to heal it.
It's times like these I realize I too am facing trials and tribulations. Just like the spirited and unloved orphan who bursts into Avonlea to change everyone's lives forever. I'll just call myself Abby of Avonlea.
When this type gets stressed, they get really irritable with everybody. Everything's gonna make them flip out, even if it has nothing to do with the thing that they're actually stressed about. They might begin to notice that people are actively avoiding them because their reactions are so intense. Who left the fork in the sink? Did you think this was gonna magically clean itself? Last time I checked, forks don't do that! You'll know this type is burned out when they begin to see danger around every corner. They won't feel comfortable doing anything unless they have 15 contingency plans and a first aid kit. Happy anniversary! I got us reservations at Mason's, but just in case it burns down or there's rumors of a creepy haunting or there's black mold in the ceiling, I also made backup reservations at 3 different places. This type wants to experience all that the world has to offer, so they try to do everything. As they hop from hobby to hobby, they forget to do things like, eat and sleep because they're too busy learning how to be a professional beekeeper. Why did I come in here again? Oh, yes, the kitchen's on fire. This type reminds me of a certain Harry Potter character.
Hello, Harry Potter.
They're free spirits, they don't conform, they make decisions based on what feels authentic. And they will burn out if they're forced to give more of themselves than they want to.
It's been so long since I felt the sun on my cheeks or the wind in my hair. When can we stop pretending that going into the office is a good thing?
The problem with this type is they can spend all their time and energy trying to take care of other people. While this sounds super selfless, it actually leads to devastating burnout because they're completely neglecting their own needs and desires.
Yeah, of course course I can pick Chloe up from school so you can get your nails done. You know, I might be 5 minutes late because I'm the doula for my best friend's home birth this afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just volunteered at the animal shelter and ended up adopting 5 dogs even though I'm allergic. If I don't do it, who will?
Without this one key thing, this type will not be able to function. That's why they need time alone to recharge. Otherwise, they won't just be burned out, they'll be cremated.
The construction of box store mid-century modern furniture is a scam. Are there any dovetail joints? Nope. Hardwood with an open grain? Not a grain in sight. Nobody understands that the point of mid-century modern is supposed to be quality.
This type loves having fun and being with others. But if things start getting stressful, that usual fun-loving gal just completely disappears. In a desperate attempt to bring back those positive vibes, they're gonna try to fill themselves up with stimulation and new experiences without any thought to the consequences. Yeah, skydiving was fun, but it could have been better. You know what I've heard great things about? Psychedelic microdosing. This type has high standards for themselves and others. So if they're forced under rules that they don't agree with, they're going to burn out. And that's going to be magnified by 10 if they have to work in groups or deal with other people's emotions. Disgusting.
With all due disrespect, you have no idea what you're talking about. And if I have to suffer through the company of one more incompetent human being, I'm going to self-destruct.
The problem with this type is they're so focused on getting things done, they don't feel worthy of resting until everything's been checked off their to-do list. Spoiler alert, it's impossible because there's always more to do to improve yourself and the world around you.
Just leave your grimy, disgusting shoes in the entryway, not in the shoe organizer where they belong. No one in this house knows personal responsibility. Shoes are a privilege.
This type is the epitome of every cloud has a silver lining. They live life with optimism and hate feeling like they're missing out on anything fun. But if every day starts feeling the same, they're gonna burn out. It's inevitable.
Inevitable.
What this looks like is making lots of reckless decisions in order to escape the monotony.
I know I just got promoted, but I'm trading in my keyboard for a surfboard, my office chair for a beach chair, my wireless mouse for a beach house. Basically, I quit. This creative, free spirit can burn out pretty easily if they're stuck within rigid environments. When that happens, they go into their turtle shell, like Dawn in Waitress, if you get that reference. We're kindred spirits. Plus, very simple tasks are gonna start feeling like impossible obstacles. I haven't journaled in weeks. I haven't had a meaningful conversation in days. I don't even know what color my aura is.
This type has relationship as their middle name, and I don't just mean romantic relationships. They're incredibly focused on the needs of others, so much so that they forget to take care of themselves. If that happens, their usual lovey-dovey self is gonna turn heel on everybody in their lives.
If I'm stressed, you're all stressed, all right? Every single kind thing I've ever done for you is now expected to be returned tenfold. And yes, there are strings attached. Strings aplenty.